Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, Best Care Home Services, and DeSoto Outdoors and Archery.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we swing into our 16th year on the air here in the Memphis, Tennessee area on this December 17th. It's hard to believe.
Half of December's gone. It seems like I just a week or so ago was doing live open. The first
open mic, open mic, and all of a sudden,
and the strange part about December, besides the weather,
what?
I don't know if you know, there is still a lot of trees with green leaves on them out there.
Well, they're not in my yard, I can tell you that.
I noticed in the bottoms and stuff, but this weather this week, and especially.
Today being almost 70.
We'll probably get some in big storms tonight, the leaf strippers.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. And I know your birthday on the 24th.
Right.
And so, and folks out there, again, it's hard to believe. You're talking about something that's hard to believe. On December the 19th, on Monday, I will celebrate, my wife and myself will celebrate our 51st wedding anniversary.
Well, congratulations.
51. Yeah, there you go. But it seems like yesterday we just did 50. The older you get, well, we won't get into that. Hey, we've been talking little ducks. What's going on right now? There was one of them right there for sure. That one's in trouble. But, we're talking ducks here. And I got a press release recently from my good friend, Jonathan Harling, talking about a new Pro Series duck call from Chase Robertson. It's coming out, the Duck Commander, and it's going to have the models would consist of the highball, the tiger wood, and the acrylic, all of which easy to call. I'm going to try that for sure because most
you might as well you with a duck call. You might as well use a kazoo.
Kazoo,
yeah,
it works.
Yeah,
I've killed a banded duck with a kazoo.
Give the duck calls away as prizes, and you use a kazoo.
We've talked enough with us. I thought this guest was on right now. I only thought he had one name, like Pele or Michael. You think of those things, but. He actually has two names. You folks know him out there from Duck Commander as Martin. Well, I'm going to give away his real name. Justin Martin is with us this morning to talk about this new series of duck calls from the Duck Commander and Company. Good morning there, Martin.
Good morning, Larry. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good. How's everything in West Monroe, Louisiana?
Oh, it's going just swell. It is, winter finally made its appearance here. We were beginning to wonder there for the longest time, but it's finally showed up, and thank the good Lord it brought some ducks with it.
Oh, that's right. They went right on past us, straight to Louisiana. You just broke the hearts of a lot of our hunters out there and everything. But I got a good friend named Glenn Harris in Monroe, Louisiana. Have you ever run into Glenn Harris?
Oh yeah, I've run into Glenn several times. He's kind of our local outdoor rifle guru. He's an educated redneck.
Oh my goodness! Well, I'm glad somebody else said that because me. Yeah. But one of my best friends can really play guitar. Speaks highly of all the organization you guys got down there. Well, tell me a little bit about this new series of duck calls.
Well, we spent our first years in business trying to make duck calls that sounded like ducks.
Yes.
And, we did that, and they were the problem was they were extremely difficult to blow. You had to have a real good air compressor to make it work. Now, luckily, all of us are pretty big fellers, so we was able to do it. But, as duck hunting grew and the popularity of the sport grew, you were getting new people that just, for whatever reason, had no knowledge on how to create that air pressure. So they needed something that would take less air pressure. So we've been working and tinkering, and we have finally come up with this new Pro Series, as we call it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it is so easy to blow. You can give it to anybody of any skill level.
That's
they
me.
Can make it sound like a duck. But for the advanced callers, you can do so much more with it too, because you can ring it. You can, got a good mid range, and it's got a great low end for when those ducks get close and you're trying to make them, sit down right there in your lap. So it is extremely versatile and is nothing but mallard hen. I mean, it's got a lot of mallard hen in it. So that's what we've always strived for, is to make duck calls that sound like ducks. So,
well, that's why I understand Phil wanted you to call it Sweetness. So
yeah, he wanted that, but Jase wanted to take all the credit for it.
Oh, no,
so
okay.
Jase won out ultimately,
Yeah, it wanted to do that, but this thing is something that you guys really wanted to put out because you wanted to maybe possibly bring in some new folks to the sport too, right?
That's exactly right. With the popularity of everything that happened with Duck Dynasty, so did the popularity of waterfowl hunting.
Yeah.
Which, is something that the waterfowl hunting market has been needing. It's been needing recruitment because the numbers were dwindling. Now they're sustaining because, while a lot of people complain because places get overcrowded and this, that, the other, you got to have the new hunters in there to continue this tradition, this legacy, get them involved in it, get them hooked on it, and then we've got more people fighting the same battle.
And we need that.
between us and our government, which we always need.
Well, we do need that. And again, we're talking to Justin Martin, the Duck Commander, Duck Calls. And I got to ask you, Martin, and I just keep calling him Martin because that's all I ever knew he was when I watched the series and everything. What's it like to work for the Duck Commander? Oh, man, it's awesome. It is it truly is what everybody has seen. We're all a bunch of people that we have a good time at work. We do our job. We get mad at each other. We get frustrated with one another. But at the end of the day, we're going to sit around and be a family, and we're gonna we're going to forgive each other. We're going to love each other, and we're just going to keep moving on, man. It is. It's truly a place where you wake up, you come to work, and you don't feel like you're working, which is a very blessed feeling that that you don't find these days. So what's your background? My background is I grew up here my whole life, born and raised West Monroe. Was working at a local sporting goods deal in town here, and when Willie took the company over, so got to know him, and we became friends. And then in college, I was working in graduate school, had nothing going on, really during the summer. So I just asked Willie if he needed any help, and he said, "Well, yeah, I actually could use some help." So I started working here, really pro bono for nothing. How long ago? Eventually, it turned into a job. How long ago? How long have you been with them? I'm going into 9 years here. So it's the time has flown, man. It has absolutely flown. Does it blow your mind, Mark? Does it ever? Every time I go walking through a place I ain't ever been, people start saying my name and all this. It's like, do what? We went from a life of relative anonymity to being thrust out in the mainstream each and every day, it seems like. So, well, but it's good, man. It allows us to do what we love. It allows us to chase ducks all year, and it allows us to spread the good news of Jesus everywhere we go. So we're fired up about it. Well, I know that Phil came up to Memphis about 10 or 15 years ago and spoke at a church here, and I've known Phil for a long time, and it was a humble beginning then, never not knowing that what it would become. And now after 7 years on the air, it's time to take a break, right? It is, to get back to running our business and, to make sure that this thing goes on for 40 more years. So it's, when you're doing all that, you get taken away from day-to-day stuff, and but it's just kind of fun now that we're back all kind of in the office, building the duck calls. We've got a lot of new products that'll be coming out over the next couple of years. So really? Okay. We're finally back able where we can get in here and do some R&D and tinker with stuff, and make duck calling even better. Make it. Just continue to make calls that sound like ducks. You ain't gonna see us on a stage at a duck calling competition, but our proof is in the pot. It is that. And that was a question. We eat a lot of them rascals.
That was a question I was fixing to lead into. When you got a duck call, how many times do they say? How many times you got to go back to the drawing board when you start? To get that call. Yeah. From the.
It's a lot. Everything we start with, we're still kind of in the old school, stuck in the old school. We start with our wooden calls that we can control and turn and move and shake, and we'll mess with the tone board and the trough and the length of everything. Not to nerd it up too much, but you just start messing with it, and you use the machine to get you most of the way.
Yeah.
And you then you get out your hand tools, your little, we call them hullers and files and everything else to get you the rest of the way. And if you hit one that you can repeat again, then what you'll do is then we'll go to Willie and say, hey, we need some money to get a mold made, because we want to. Ultimately, our goal is to make them out of plastic. Just because it holds up to the weather so much better.
Right.
You're not dealing with porous wood and this, that, the other. So we'll try to get a mold made, and then we'll have that produced. And, that way we can sit there. But we do all of the custom work beforehand, before the mold, if everything goes right.
Yeah.
And, the cool thing is we're still able to make everything completely in the USA. So
that's what I was going to get, all American made. So
we are all American made. Our plastic molding comes out of Jackson, Mississippi. So everything is done in the United States, man. It's awesome. It's good to be able to still say that after all these years, that everything is kept right here. In this great country we live in.
Well, it would blow my mind if something from the Duck Commander came from China. I mean, we just we can't have that. Well, Justin Martin, thank you for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Say hello to everybody down there, including Phil and all the whole gang. And if you see Glenn Harris, tell him hello too. But we'll stay in touch and look forward to trying that out, because I'm 73 years old and I'm still trying to blow a duck call. But that kazoo, I'm serious. The kazoo brought a duck in one time. Cause I'm just saying.
Probably what would help you most, in your duck hunting.
I'm 73. Yeah. Remember that.
Is using some of their face paint.
Thank you. That's right. Can we
just grow a beard, then you ain't got to have as much face.
Can we cut that part out right now? I don't know. Hey, thank you, buddy. We'll stay in touch with you. Tell everybody hello from Outdoors with Larry Ray, okay?
All right, Larry. Thank you, brother. Y'all have a good one. Man.
All right, buddy. Thank you. We're going to take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we're going to talk about an event that's going on this week out in Fayette County. Be right back on ESPN 790. Greg Ratliff is pushing those buttons.
Got his loaded finger.
Oh, look at it.
You can find out